Chris Rock feel good.
Being alone, I guess. Dying alone, living alone.
Let me pull my stuff up.
Yeah. Being alone.
I like how that transition going there. Turn it down a bit. All right, make sure I'm straight. Ooh, I'm getting okay. Make sure my hair got the cut. Okay. All right, let's get into it. All right, y'all. Like I said, I told you I was gonna do it. I've been playing games, but I'm here. Y'all can see my face. Y'all can see me. Now y'all matching the voice with the face, so y'all don't think I'm a robot or something. But anyway, this is Dissect the Dialogue. This is what episode is this? 57? Let me check. Because I'll be forgetting sometimes. I gotta make sure I get count of this. There we go. Yeah, 57. 57. Yep. Episode 57. It's crazy. It's been over a year since I've been doing this. And I'm just now doing video, but better late than never. But so but y'all, what y'all been up to? More crazy stuff going on. Did y'all hear about that stuff going on? That Usher and Chris Brown shit? Y'all think it's fake? Because I think it's fake. I find it very eerie that not only was one, of course, it had to deal with Chris Brown. Two, I think it was on his birthday, if I'm not mistaken. And then three, it just so happened to be in a nightclub where he got into an altercation with another person that he was in cahoots with. I just found that very odd. It's just very weird to me. But yeah, that really got me. But besides that, everything else been alright. But more stuff going on. Hold on. Is it too loud? Turn it down a little bit. But yeah, there we go. Okay. So not only that, who else was in some shit? Tory Lane. I don't know why they did. This is so terrible. I don't know why they're doing Tory Lane so dirty. Like, what did he ever do to anybody? I feel like they're doing him bad. It's like, what do you have to do to like sustain some sort of fame or whatever? It's like crazy. It's crazy what people would do to like get, just a little bit of clout. Then I think recently I heard about some rapper that said he shot up his own family, and then like 2 days later he posted a video. There's a lot of crazy stuff going on. Like people like really can't handle living like, I'll say quote unquote normal. And I don't even like saying 9 to 5 because people always like to frown upon 9 to 5 stuff because of what they were programmed to see. Now, mind you, they have some boring lives where it's 9 to 5, but I mean, as long as you're not spending your money on stupid stuff and income stable, I mean, what you got to complain about, what you like honestly, like, what are you complaining about? Like, what do you have to worry about? That's why I find it funny. These future housewives / OnlyFans / whores always want to talk about certain men not having a certain status. Then the people that they pick, they don't. It's like, yeah, they look like they rich. They look like they got something, but they ain't got nothing going on. They ain't got nothing going on. All that jewelry and stuff, they probably that's rent. That's all rented shit. Their cars, their jewelry, that's all rented. But even getting all that, they still have to find a way to somehow get more out of that, quote unquote slice of devil's pie per se. But I really want to know, and this is the question for tonight. Because with the Chris Brown stuff, then the Tory Lane stuff, and then the rapper, I forget what state he was in. Probably was it Chicago? That's not a state, but was it in Chicago or was it in somewhere in Ohio? It was somewhere in there. But the main question for tonight is, what does it cost to sell your soul? What does it cost? What do you have to exchange in order to get some sort of monetary gain out of it? Right? What are you getting out of it? Now, you just blacked out on me for a second. Thought it blacked out on me. Let me make sure I get this right. But where does that concept come from? Everyone always talks about, when certain people get famous, they always think automatically, oh, he went Illuminati and all this. But don't get me wrong, now there's some people that actually work their way up to get to a certain point in their, status where they don't have to do like, backdoor, no pun intended, backdoor stuff. But there's those select few that, got to do some type of shit. But now they have this saying called deal with the devil. Now, it's basically said it's a cultural motive exemplified by the legend of Faust and the fire of Mephistopheles, aka the devil, as well as being elemental of the many Christian traditions. Now, it says, according to the belief about witchcraft, the pact is between a person and the devil or another demon, trading a soul for diabolical favors, which vary by the tale, but tend to include youth, knowledge, wealth, fame, and or, because it could be either or, and or power. So that's the main concept of it. Now, you've seen a lot of movies, you hear a lot of stories, you hear a lot of TV shows about people wanting to go through different lengths of trying to frame from being normal. A lot of people kind of hate the regularness of life. People hate not being noticed per se. I don't know if it's because they didn't get any appreciation when they were younger. I don't know if it's because where they're at in their life, they're not really happy. But a lot of reasons they think that they're in it for the long haul, but when they realize that dance with the devil, and let's break down the devil. Now, y'all know how my stance on religion per se, I don't really delve into that, but breaking down the devil complex, I'll say. I don't think it's a person. I don't think it's a certain type of gender. I do think it's an entity that may be placed on a certain person. And it may come because they as I always heard, the devil, quote unquote, never comes as something scary or something that you run away from or something that you have to be cautious of. They always come to you. Most of the time, they usually come to you as the prettiest thing you ever seen in your life. Sometimes it could be, something you wouldn't even expect has a black hole in their heart or like just malicious intent, right? But they end up being the same. Again, doesn't matter what gender it is. It just matters on what they have up their sleeve. And sometimes certain people, like, y'all remember The Princess and the Frog? Well, remember that scene where the Facilier, right? Where he ran into Naveen. He knew he was coming into town. He knew about his his story basically when he was giving the tarot reading. Him and his butler, I think. And then he mentioned how, you grew up rich, but your parents cut you off your allowance. And he said, oh, if you marry this woman of a certain wealth, I guarantee you your dreams will come true and you'll be wealthy, right? But the thing with making deals with the devil, like I said, it doesn't have to be one person or one thing. When you're making deals, when you try to get something really quick, it's usually It's usually something on that other side that it. I'll just say it because, like I said, it wouldn't tell you, right? Because why would they? Why would you tell someone about a surprise when it would kind of ruin the surprise? Why would you tell? Why would you tell somebody what they're gonna get you for? I don't know, a certain holiday? It would kind of ruin the surprise. So, with that being said, yeah. So in that scene, and then the butler, when he was seeing that he's been pushed around, blah blah blah, and then he said, "Oh, your future, I can make you become, you know, pretty much of higher status, basically, pretty much Prince Naveen's place." But then once they shake his hand, they realize it's more than what they bargained for. Because when he mentioned, "Oh, you be seeing green. That's the green. Green is what you need. Green is what you'll see." He didn't mention it literally turning him into a green amphibian. And then the butler, he didn't recognize that, oh, I'll be of a certain status. He didn't know he was going to be old dude. So that's basically what that is. Like, you think it's something, you know, nice and sweet, but it's really just, in lack of better words, just with syrup drizzled on it, and you think it's pancakes. So that's basically what happens when people make deals about it. There was one story. I don't think y'all. Let me pull it up. There was one story about a man that actually made a deal. His name was Robert Johnson. He was a famous innovator in the blues, rock, whatever. He was really good. Like around those times, like around 30s, like he was really really good. But he noticed he wasn't getting a lot of attention. He wasn't getting a lot of traction. You know, people weren't really, vibing with him as much. He probably did like a few local shows, and he thought he almost like kind of was discouraged with himself in a way. Kind of felt like he wasn't worth nothing. You know, tell your mama you ain't shit. But yeah. So he kind of felt like he wasn't good enough, but he ran into a certain figure which kind of looked like a pretty woman. And as the tale goes, something she might have done to him when they were meeting somewhere in like some forest, uh, pretty much told him, like, he was pretty much saying, like, oh, I want to be, great, blah, blah, blah. And then the lady kind of did something like, okay, I'll do this. But they never tell, you notice when you, again, because there's a lot of tales about this, when you're making a deal, anytime when it comes to certain deals, there's always pros and cons. But the problem is nobody tells you the cons until some shit happens. So when he did the deal, he got really good. I mean, he was doing a whole bunch of tricks. Like, people never seen anything like that. Then all of a sudden, I think it's been, I don't know, like they were trying to look for Robert, they couldn't find him. Like he kind of like disappeared, and then like I guess they found him like stretched out somewhere in the forest. He was 27. It was crazy. Like like me being 26, that's crazy. But but yeah, nobody really knows what it really costs. Like, I mean, you seeing people making deals trying to stay young. Like, you see all these actors that's just 50 plus 60. Now, don't get me wrong. There's some people that look good for their age, and then they work out. But come on, like they can't look that like you can't look that good at that age. I get it. Like, okay, you may stay healthy, but come on, you still look the exact same, and you're not doing some other stuff behind closed doors. But who was it that said it? Some rapper. Y'all know what I'm talking about when I mention this. Mention about the doors. Uh, Nori. Uh, and ironically, it was deleted that interview. But he mentioned how uh, he said there were certain doors. I think he said there was three doors. He said there was one way, one the other way, and then there's the middle path. Middle path, and it was dealing with the music business. He was saying the music path, if you're going, your own route, kind of indie per se, you're going straight. You know, if you think you're good enough, if you think you don't need us to help you, etc., go ahead, do your thing. Then he mentions one side where it's some down low stuff. Then there was another side where it was some often people stuff. And he was saying those were the certain doors that people pick in order to. It's like, okay, you'll do this. We'll make sure you're famous. We'll make sure you have everything you want. But in that world, and whoever's watching, I mean, I'm gonna still say it. Blood is like the currency, pretty much. Some people think, money and gold and all that's currency. To certain people in those upper rooms, blood is the currency. And people don't want to say, oh, it's just a coincidence how. So you telling me it's a coincidence that every time a certain artist or someone famous gets to a higher level of status, it's either like someone close to them dies, either a relative, their spouse, maybe a friend that they was real close by, then they all of a sudden die, or like someone that's okay talented wise, but they like see their competitor and then they try to befriend them, and then all of a sudden the competitor dies and then they're big. I'm not naming no names, but you've seen them. We've all heard the story before. We've seen this all the time. And the scary part is people think that it's just a coincidence, it's just conspiracies, it's just made up stuff. Oh, you reaching. Oh, you're reaching. Yeah, just like how people reach about music being a frequency and not how it's mind control. That's what ODB said. ODB said a lot of times radio stations, y'all heard me say this all the time, radio stations play the same songs in order to, you know, brainwash people listening to it. And it's almost to the point that they become what they listen to. He wasn't lying about that. Have you seen NBA YoungBoy fans? They look exactly like him. 110 pounds soaking wet. Look like they never been in a fight in their life. Have you seen the average City Girl fans? Long ass nails, long ass eyelashes, made up accent. I don't know why. Like, you're from Alaska. Why the hell do you sound like you're from Miami? It's crazy. They don't make this up. And what happens when people say this stuff, they get off. And then the people that's around them, all of a sudden, they get up in the rooms. Like I said, like what Nori said, there's that door where you got to do some weird shit. Oh, and let me touch on the weirds. So I don't know if they drawing blood from somebody. I don't know if they messing with some. I don't know. Messing with some animals. I don't know. But they're doing something to, keep that revenue going, keep them looking youthful. Because I guarantee you, if there was a skit. You know what? There was a skit about some comedian. They were talking about pretty much using adrenochrome. What's adrenochrome? Okay. I'm just looking. Y'all probably heard me mention it, but let me make sure I get it right. Now, for those that don't know what adrenochrome is, it's like pretty much like a drug, kind of like which kind of boosts up adrenaline. And they say the purest kind they can find is usually of a virgin. I don't know if it's a certain gender, but I know it's virgin blood. because they say it's like the purest form. It's like the highest kind they can find. Monsters Inc. pretty much exposed it because they were showing the symbols of what the compound looked like. They showed the compound of what they look like. Who was it? Was it Lala Milan? That was the comedian that did that Adrenochrome video. She better not get off. But so yeah. So they showed the in like like how you look at soccer balls, how it's kind of like in hexagons. That's how Adrenochrome looks. So they showed that. Then there you like what's in like with kids when your adrenaline gets pumped up, what happens when you like what causes it to pump up? When you're really excited or when you're scared? Monsters Inc. was showing monsters scaring kids. And what was that red stuff going up? Because I always confuse when I was like, what's that red stuff? That's the blood. That's the blood. That's the adrenaline getting pumped up. That's what a lot of these celebrities be doing behind that one door. That's what it costs to keep yourself looking a certain way. So when you see someone that's like 70 still looking 30, it's like, yeah, you could say they are vegan or they eat, Beyond Meat or they eat this type of food, or they're probably taking 12-year-old people's blood. I don't know. Maybe I'm just making this up. Maybe I'm crazy. I don't know. But then you got other ways people may tend to get fame. Y'all heard me talk about this when I'm talking about fraternities, about humiliation rituals, how in order to get people in those rooms to trust you, they got to see if you're willing to make a jackass of yourself. That's why when you see a lot of these celebrities in these numerous scandals, they probably pick that route. They're like, okay, if you want to keep on going this route, like, who was that? I think it was YG and Tyga. Yeah, they were dressing in drag. I was like, weren't these dudes like popping at one point? Didn't they have like a crazy track record with songs? Next time I see them in a video, and not to mention Tyga already weird from messing with Kylie when she was a teenager. But anyway, they dressing in drag. I'm like, damn. Like if this is what fame costs, I don't want it. I'll take my regular job and then stack my coins and save that up. Like I said, I don't really care about trying to look fly or do none of that. That's not me, but that's okay. That's okay. You don't have to. That's another. That's the thing that happened with social media and all this. I looked up the average age for what a millionaire is, right? You know what the age was when I looked that up? 37. That's average, right? And they say the oldest for first time millionaire is 51. The problem is social media. What social media has done is that they expected 18 to 25-year-olds to be Bill Gates as soon as they get out of college. And now you've probably seen the highest rate of depression ever since the Great Depression, and it's crazy. Like people are really rushing and doing any and everything to be famous. See, look at 6ix9ine. When the last time you heard of 6ix9ine? Getting his ass whooped. But he probably chose to do that path. He chose to act like a rat. He probably chose to be a blood and get kidnapped. He chose all that stuff. So it's like you want to feel bad for these people, but remember, the world is a stage. Everybody, whether they want to admit it or not, is still playing a role in this game. Well, I'll say this production, since we're playing on that route. But yes, called life. But hey, they chose to do it. It's like, what can you do? Like, what can you do with someone that doesn't want, like, you want to help them, but they can't help themselves? That's them. That's them. They want to do that. Let them do it. It's crazy. It's crazy when I see that. I remember someone telling me, because like I told you, I'll be in plays, I'll be doing all that stuff. I remember someone saying to me, no, I was saying, I don't even know if I want to be that big, like fame wise. Like I still want to be recognized, but I don't know if I want to be that, like that. And she was telling me, well, I mean, if it'll come to you, it'll come to you. Okay, they better not come to me. Whoever going at me, they better not come to me. But I get her point. I get it. Sometimes it may happen. You may not know it, but I don't even think I'm cut for all that. It's almost like high school, you know, when people trying too hard to climb up that popularity ladder, and then when you get out of high school, and then I don't know, you grow up. Because a lot of people, when they leave high school, they don't grow up. You still hear those people talking about what they did in junior varsity, that one game when they were in for 5 minutes, and they still talk about that one play that they made, like it was like 3 seconds left in the Super Bowl. They still talk about that. Or that one dude that was like the hustler in school. Now you see him now. He just now I get it. Life happens to everybody where they, get in the jam, stuff like that. But I'm sorry, that can't be me. I can't do that. I'll just say, know your own worth, and not the, selfish type of no. I mean, know what you're. Just know who you are. Know what you're meant to do. Don't just, settle for anything, because people could take advantage of you like that. They'll try to paint your own canvas, but you can't let them do that. You can't, because anybody gonna just try to paint you any kind of way. But can't please everybody. But all right, that was first time y'all seeing me talk face to face. This is actually pretty nice. Might continue to do this on the long run. I'll see how this goes, but appreciate y'all for tuning in. Like I said, my YouTube is up. I'm gonna post this later on, but again, Spotify, Anchor, Amazon, I'm on that. Check me out, and until next time, I'm out. Peace.